Hello, today we're on lesson 4.6. It starts on page 211, and we're going to compare by counting sets to 10. Our essential question is, how can you use counting strategies to compare sets of objects? So we're going to use different ways to count to compare. So look at these sets of objects. We've got some green rain boots and some binoculars. Count how many in each set, and then we're going to trace it. So we can see these two numbers here, but first let's count just to make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to trace our 6, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to trace our 8. And now we're going to compare the numbers. Just by looking at them, what can we tell? When we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we know that 8 is a bigger number than 6 because it comes after it when we count. Let me show you something with our counters here. If I were to ask you which number is greater, 3 or 5, you might just know, but it also helps to draw or use a model. So if I said, what number is greater, 3 or 5? Let's count. 1, 2, 3. Here's that first one I said, 3, 4, 5. 5. This is what 3 looks like. This is what 5 looks like. So 5 is greater because there's more. I had to put more there to be 5. So that's another way to show it. Let's see what we're going to do next on the other page. Find this page. Count how many there are in each set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 in this set, so draw your 8. And now let's count the paint cans. I'll give you a second to draw that 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 is a 1 and a 0. Now, once we get into larger groups and they're pictures like this where it's harder to compare and we can't draw lines from everyone, we're going to have to use what we know about our numbers. So when we're counting, which number comes first? 8 or 10? You can picture in your head. I'll put one here to show you what I'm talking about. You can picture in your head a 10 frame. We have 5 up top and 5 on the bottom. This is what a full 10 frame would look like. This a little bit, 10. So which one we're counting? What one comes first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 8 would look like this, or like this. Their picture just has it even like that. With the 10 over here, they have 4, 4, and then 2 up here. So it's the same thing, only they have it in a sorted in a different way. So we're going to circle the numbers that are greater on this page. So there are more over here, and 10 is greater. So we're going to circle that. Now let's count these masks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And our piñatas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so looking at these numbers, it's hard to tell when they're not in the same shape, doesn't it? It's hard to tell when they're not just in a 10 frame where your brain can see it right away. Which one is greater? When we're counting, which one comes last? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 was after 6. So this one must be the greater number. Now let's do these catcher's gloves. Or might be a first base. No, I think that's a catcher's glove. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 here. And then let's count the baseballs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You might be able to tell just from that picture that there are more baseballs than there are baseball gloves or mitts. One thing to keep in mind, it doesn't matter how small or how big something is. This one and this one is the same. There's one little dot and one big dot, but there's still only one of each. I could say, are there more dots here or dots here? It might be confusing because this one's bigger, but there's still more over here. So keep that in mind when we have these pictures like this, because these balls together are smaller than what the mitts look like. So it's not by size, it's by how many there are. So which one is larger, 6 or 9? Which one comes last in counting order? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this one's greater. Find this page. Now on this page, we're going to be finding the number that is less. Okay, so which group has less? Let's count these guitars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So an 8 goes on this line. Remember, 8's make an S and close the gate. That's the way to make an 8. 1, 2, oops, sorry, let's count the drums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, looking at this, which one's less? Which one's smaller, has fewer in them, a smaller number? When we count, which one comes first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're looking for the smaller number, or which number is less today. I say it so many different ways to see how your brain remembers it. All right, now let's see here the red trucks. Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 red trucks. And let's count these little green cars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Remember, we're finding the number or the group that has less in it. So when counting order, less, which one has fewer, which one has a smaller number? 7 is smaller or less than 9. Now let's count these thermists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I got a little sloppy with my 9 there. Let me do that again. There we go. My line over here too is going below that line. Oh guys, you were here, you'd say, Mrs. Medja, your 9, the bubble on your 9 was too big. I'll practice again up here. Better. See, when teachers don't take their time too, and we don't concentrate, we make mistakes too. Let's count these lunch boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now remember, this isn't 99, this is just 9. I just practiced it. So which one's smaller, 9 or 10? 9 comes first in counting order, so this group has less. Oh, You can see my marker through this a little bit today. Usually these ones don't bleed through. Megan bought hats and gifts for a party. How many hats did she buy? How many gifts did she buy? Write the number of objects in each set. Then compare the numbers. So let's count the hats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She bought 8 hats. Now let's count the presents or the gifts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to double check this to make sure I counted that right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are both 8 today. Now let's look. Let's compare the numbers. What do you notice? They're both 8. Now in number 8 down here, we're going to draw to show what you know about counting sets to 10 with the same number of objects. So what I'd like you to do is you are going to draw a number of something. So you don't have to draw this line, but just draw one set on this side, one set on this side. But they have to have the same amount of numbers, and they have to have less than 10 in them. So can you pick the number 12? Nope. Can you pick the number 20? Nope. But you can pick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, because I want 10 or less. So I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3 suckers, and these are supposed to be bows, if you can't tell. They could maybe be candy too, but I have 3 suckers and 3 bows. Probably would have made more sense if I made them candy. I'll make them into candy. Three suckers, 3 pieces of candy, but they're the same. All right, flip to your last page. This is your practice and homework page. Here, what you're going to do is you're going to count, write the number, count, write the number, then compare the sets. You're going to do that down here too. Count and write, compare the sets. And for the number 1 and number 2, you're going to circle the number that has less. So in the apple and the sun, you're going to count and then compare these two, circle which one has less between those two, which one has less between these two. But on number 3, they're switching it up. You're going to count, write how many, and circle the number that's greater. So less, greater. On this side, you're going to count and tell how many are in each set. Write the numbers, compare the numbers, and circle the number that's less. So which one is less? Are there less pencils, or are there less bottles of glue? For number 2, how many whistles are there? Write the number. For number 3, how many more counters would you place in a 10 frame to show a way to make 6? So what that means is I don't want you to draw 6 counters. I want you to draw how many more you would need to add to this 10 frame to make it 6. Okay? So let me show you what I mean. If I were to draw, let's practice this again because it's been about a week or 2 since we've done this. So if I just did 6 and I was like, oh, it says 6, I'm going to add 6 counters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm done. Would that be right? It would not be right because look, how many do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They only wanted us to have 6. There was already one there for you. So if you do 6, that's going to be too many. So you have to draw how many more you would need to put in there after the one they already gave you. So if I did this, if I drew 1, I would have 1, 2. If I drew 2, I would have 1, 2, 3. So keep going until you have made 6. And then send me a picture of these pages, please. The homework and the lesson check.